Now what we want to do is what should happen when we receive a message. We have to create order header and order details accordingly. So for that what we will do is let me create a consumer service. Inside the order API, we will be creating a new folder with the name of messaging. In there, let me create a consumer service. I will call that Azure Service Bus Consumer. Let's create that. And in here, I want to create a method. This will be a private method. It will be async task, so nothing will be returned. I will call this on checkout message received. So in this method, we will basically define that whatever checkout message that we saw in the Azure portal, once we receive that, what should happen? Now, when we are receiving something from the Azure Service Bus, it will not be a DTO. It will be inside an object, and that object is inside the Azure Service Bus. So we will say process message event args. That will be the argument name. And you can see that resides inside azure.messaging.servicebus. So we will call that as args here. And from that argument, we can retrieve the body. That will be the actual DTO or message that we posted from our message bus. If we examine the Azure Service Message Bus, when we use the publish message, whatever message that we have here will be inside args.body. So we can say variable message is equal to args.message. And then we can use this message to deserialize that into a checkout header DTO. Because what we are posting from our API, if we go there, inside the cart controller, it will be the checkout header DTO. Let me show that as well. Here, if we go to the checkout method, you can see when we publish a message, it is a checkout header of the type checkout header DTO. So we first need to deserialize that into a checkout header DTO object, and then we have to convert that to order header and order detail. If you examine the checkout header DTO, you will notice that it has cart details DTO, and if you press F12 again, it has the product DTO. So we need to create all three of those models, or rather messages, inside our order API to deserialize the object that was passed. So if we go and if we scroll down to the shopping cart API, we have the messages. Let me open this up in File Explorer. Let me create a copy with Control N and open up the order API. Here we will create a new folder for the messages. I will make a copy of the checkout header DTO, paste it here. Let's go back, and here we'll go to models. Inside the shopping cart DTO, we have the cart details and the product DTO. We will copy those two and paste them. Once you do that, we'll open up the messages inside our orders API, and let's change the namespace. So this will be inside order API dot messages, and we'll copy and change it in the other two class files as well. Perfect, so our product DTO looks good. Let me close that. Cart details DTO looks good. We don't need the cart header DTO. We can just remove that. And we have the checkout header DTO. Let me remove the namespaces here. And we also do not require the base message because we only needed that if we have to publish this to the Azure service. We are actually fetching it here, so we don't need that. Perfect, everything else looks good. So we have all the models that are needed inside our Azure Service Bus to decipher the args.message. So in order to do that, we can say variable body is equal to, we will be using encoding, so we'll use system.text.udf8.getString, and we need to extract the string from message.body. Once you extract that, now it's the time to deserialize. So we'll say checkout header DTO is equal to JSON convert. We'll do a control dot and install the package newtonsoft.json. On there we have the deserialize object. The type will be checkout header DTO and we will pass our body. So with that, our checkout header DTO will have the object that is currently sitting inside the Azure service bus. That is the assumption if we receive the correct arguments here. We have not configured how we receive that yet, but before we do that, let's finish the processing of what should happen once we receive the correct arguments here in the next video.